Well, welcome to Oak Grove Cemetery. My name is Special Agent Olsen, and I represent an organization named DOWN. And you may be wondering, well, what are we doing in a cemetery, and what is the organization named DOWN? And those are very good questions, and I'm going to answer those. But let me set the stage here. First, what I'd like you to do, if you'll do this for me, close your eyes. I want you to imagine the most brilliant night sky you've ever seen in your life. And as you're looking at that night sky, pick out something that you can identify. Make a note of it, and now you can open your eyes. Tell me what you identified.
Pleiades.
Okay, that's beyond me. And what did you?
Well, I guess, I don't know if I was night. I guess I was kind of the setting sun.
The setting sun. Okay, the setting sun. Well, yours is much more advanced than mine. I was just thinking about the Little Dipper. So, okay, we're all familiar with the Little Dipper. And at the very tip of the handle of the Little Dipper, do you know what's there?
The North Star.
The North Star. Since you know about all these other things, how far is the North Star from us?
Well, I don't know the light year distance, but it's considerable.
It is, as a matter of fact. Would you hold this for me
Certainly.
for just a second? Since science has done all this nice calculations, and it's the end of the day, won't tax our brains too much. Take this number, and if you were to add 12 zeros to it, you would come up with this number. Now, I bet you can identify this number, can't you?
I doubt it.
It is actually 2 quintillion, 430 quadrillion miles away from us.
Wow.
And I don't know about you, but my brain cannot comprehend that distance. But you were talking about light years. Well, if you were to go and look at the Little Dipper tonight and look at the North Star, it would have taken 390 years for that light to reach our eyes. So we know so much about what's out there beyond our reach. We know the moon's gravitational influence, its force on the gravitational force on our ocean tides, the sun and the earth, and how that affects our seasons. But if you look down at the ground, if I were to ask you to pick up just a pinch of soil, what you would be holding between your forefinger and thumb is 1 billion individual living organisms. Over 10,000 of these organisms are species that scientists have yet to catalog and know little about. So that brings us back to the cemetery. Because being in the cemetery, we start to think about things that are underground, and we can start to begin to think about these microscopic organisms that live in this underworld. And then this brings us back to my organization, DOWN. We think macroscopically. Anything that we can see, we pay attention to, but anything that we can't see, we ignore. And my agency, DOWN, defends organisms we neglect. So they have sent me here today as a representative to call your attention, to let you know that these deep, dark places that we sometimes associate with death actually teem with life, and life that's critical to our survival. Take a deep breath now. I need one. You've got the oxygen flowing out of your lungs and exhaling CO2, but there's another gas that's out here that you're inhaling also.
Nitrogen.
Nitrogen, exactly. Nitrogen, in its purest form, which is one nitrogen atom, is one of the most scarce resources on the earth. Every living thing just about depends on it. And nitrogen exists in the air as 2 nitrogen atoms bonded tightly together. It's all around us, gushing in and out of our lungs, but our bodies can't do anything with it, but yet we depend on it. No plant, no other animal can break those bonds. But fortunately for us, there's a handful of those microscopic organisms underneath our feet that can break those bonds. And how does that benefit us? They take the N2 from the air, they break the bonds, and they start to form amino acids. And amino acids are building blocks of protein. And we all know how important protein is to our diet. So the bacteria decomposes, it enters the food chain, and it works its way up to us. And there's one muscle, our heart, that it contributes to. So without these microscopic organisms, all life as we know it would virtually cease to exist. And so I stand here today representing these organisms because they hope that the next time that you pass by a cemetery, that maybe you won't think about death, but instead you'll think about the microscopic life underneath your feet, which your survival depends on.